Let's talk about a very important event in crypto right now. One race is going on right now. It's the stablecoin race. I know what you're thinking. Stable money? Really? That sounds dull. Also, I get it. People don't pay attention when the subject of safe coins comes up because we've been talking about it for a long time. But bear with me because I really think safe coins could be the most important thing going on in this space right now. That's why this is so important. Crypto should go from having a market value of around $4 trillion to $40 trillion. To make that happen, stablecoins must become a huge part of the world's banking system. Things get very interesting when that happens. Because of this, stablecoins are putting a lot of pressure on the big players in traditional finance as their use grows and demand skyrockets. Also, guess what? The last few things are finally being changed. See what took place in 2025? The big US banks like JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citi all came out and said, hey, we want to launch our own stablecoins too. They saw this market get bigger. They saw how much money was being made and wanted a piece of it too. And now people all over the world are following this trend. Look at this. Banks from Europe are also joining in. There will be a new euro-backed stablecoin coming out next year, according to a group of 9 big banks that includes UniCredit, ING, and SEB. It takes 9 banks to work together. It's not just about competition either. It's because Europe wants to be free from US control over digital payments, while the US market has been leading the way. Get this. Citi thinks that by 2030, the total amount of stablecoins issued around the world will reach $1.9 trillion. Take a moment to think about that. What does this all mean? Stablecoins are quickly growing into a very important part of the world's banking system. It's no longer just crypto. We're talking about shaking up the whole situation. As we speak, stablecoins are being added to regular money transfers. This is not a guess. Right now, it's really happening. Who is making it happen? These are the big banks. The ones who jump in with both feet are they. Now, Europe is really pushing hard for more control over digital payments, especially since the US, with the help of Trump's government, still controls most of the market. Even a digital form of the euro is being made by the European Central Bank. The UK Treasury also says that stablecoin laws will be in place by the end of the year. People, the steady coin race is getting hot very quickly. It gets even more interesting now. The World Economic Forum put out an interesting report in September. They talked about how the US Genius Act and the EU's MECA rules show that the crypto rules of these two very large economies are beginning to match up. They are coming together. I've talked about this a lot of times. When it comes to crypto laws, we need harmonization so badly. Every country can't be left to its own devices and follow its own rules. That won't work in the long run. As soon as these two groups come together, everyone will agree on how crypto should be controlled. Also, the US and UK just put together a real task group to make sure their approaches to crypto and capital markets are the same. This is very, very big. Now, the pieces are starting to fit together. Didn't we just talk about this task force? But now comes the crazy part. Who was one of the main people who did it? This is 𝗙𝗶𝗆 from Ripple. Yes, a Ripple worker was very important to this US-UK task group. Take a moment to think about that. There's more though. Let's take a closer look at the EU. The US and UK have now set up their task forces. The US and EU are beginning to match up their crypto rules. Then, on September 26th, the EU releases a big document called Preparing for the Future of Payments and Money, the Role of Research and Innovation. At a meeting called the Future of Payments, CBDC, Digital Assets and Digital Capital Markets, a member of the ECB's executive board said this. This is what they said. These days, things change quickly, and digitalization is changing the way money and funds are handled. It is very important to make sure that this change leads to real improvements that make people's lives better. The best part is now here. It's not enough for study and policy to talk to each other. They have to. The change is finally being made by central banks all over the world. It's like, hey, we're working to enable settlements of DT transactions in central bank money next year. Next year with a digital euro because they've realized they're falling behind. It's easy to understand. We need to change quickly right now. You can't wait any longer. They are locked in and ready to speed up. The document then talks about their efforts to bring things up to date, focusing on 3 key areas for retail payments. First, they talk about how study helps them adapt to changes in technology. This shows how central bank money has changed over time to bring about new ideas while keeping things stable. The second thing they talk about is how study helps them understand how digitalization is changing public and private money, as well as the way retail payment markets are set up. Third, they talk about how study helps them plan for the future, spot risk, and take advantage of chances as they shape the future of central bank money. This is the whole thing we've been talking about. The whole system is shaking because of stable coins. And can you guess who has been talking about this since the beginning? Swirl. Look at this. The head of the ECB, Christine Lagarde, wrote on her blog that she was happy to welcome Paul Atkins as chairman of the USSC to the ECB. This harmonization strategy is being used to link the US, the UK, and the EU. It gets better. A few weeks ago, Caroline F. from the CFTC went to a meeting with an interesting name. America is in its golden age. The US is making plans for a new way to regulate crypto. Which player is known as a key star? Swirl. Finding your way through global crypto regulation and practice. Building institutional readiness in a broken world was the name of the event. Everyone is getting ready for the big day when there are full rules for crypto.